I want to share a quick trail riding technique that I have been using for many years now. I call it clutch braking. The basics. Using the clutch instead of the rear brake with the engine off. First, let's talk about why you might want to use this technique. This technique is very useful on tricky downhill sections with loose rock, big steps, tight turns, or the presence of a high cost to any slight errors. High cost like death, dismemberment, totaling your bike out, things like that. It is very hard to illustrate this technique or use my minimal language skills, so I will demonstrate. A really good example is the section of the TAT, Trans-America Trail, known as Warloop Road. This is a very tricky section that Richard and I just completed, and you can watch that detailed video here. Another good example is Black Bear Pass. I did this section a few years back on an unloaded bike, but it was still terrifying. There are quite a few videos out there, one with a Jeep tumbling down the hill on Black Bear Pass. So basically you will turn the engine off and use the clutch as a brake so you can have your right foot on the ground instead of on the peg and brake lever. I will demonstrate right after I walk this tricky and dangerous section. What I am walking down now is concrete. And now I think I see what everybody's talking about. Okay, this is tricky. So I would say my line would be the line that everybody's going to be terrified right here, is taking that line right there, not having to fall off the fucking slab, right? And then it keeps getting trickier down here. Yeah, this is an interesting little section. Definitely not something you want to go take your 800-pound Harley fully loaded down with shit. But I imagine you could probably even weave down through here with a Harley if you had the skills and you had some decent tires to keep you from sliding all the way down the mountain. I mean, if that's the worst section, this is not bad. Fucking great, man. Fucking great. I wouldn't have done that, but I would slow it down. All right, what do you think this thing weighs right now?
With you?
600 pounds. So I got a foot down. I got my right foot on the brake. All right, so I'm going to turn the bike off to show you that you don't have to use your back brake if you're clutching it down, and that's what I'm about to do. So this technique is very effective because you can use your outriggers, your feet. You can crawl down with your feet instead of having one up here. What happens if you have to emergency take this off? You're starting to fall over here. You take this off the back brake, and then all you got is the front brake. So if you clutch it down, you're using the clutch as a brake. If you want to go, you pull the clutch in. If you want to stop, you let the clutch out. So that's what I'm doing. I'm clutching it down. I'm using the front brake and I'm using the rear. Just kind of slowly walking it down this tricky part. And this will work on any big heavy bike, even a Harley. I would not suggest bringing Harleys down here, but it'll work here. So this is a seldom taught technique for tricky spots like this, where you want to have both feet on the ground. You do not want to fall over here. You do not want to fall down here. Just recovering your bike, if your bike does not fall on top of your head, just recovering your bike is going to be painful for you financially, and it's probably going to crush your bike, so don't do it. Clutching down. If the front starts washing, just let the clutch out. Watch, I'm going to go down here and brake completely with the rear tire. Watch. So that is the technique in a nutshell. Clutch braking. You can practice this on a steep paved incline, gradually releasing the clutch instead of using the brake. You are letting the clutch out and squeezing the clutch to go. Or you can try it out the next time you find yourself sliding down a steep, loose downhill section and start questioning your life choices. Have fun!